traveling out in eastern Montana this break, and I'll have had listening sessions in Glendive and Sydney, and then I'm headed up to Wolf Point, and I'll be over to Scobie, Plentywood, Circle, and such. And if the Tea Parties don't come up as a question, then I bring them up, and I suggest that people participate to the best of their ability. It's the American way. It's an opportunity, finally, for fiscal conservatives to say, we've had enough, to draw attention to the problem, and hopefully hold people's feet to the fire. You know, I listen to the national media, I listen to the local media, and when politicians say, yeah, I get it, I understand, I know your concerns, well then, check their voting record. Find out how, in fact, they have voted. If they voted for the stimulus package, then no, they don't get it. That's over $800 billion that we're going to have to pay back for something that isn't going to do what it suggests it's going to do. And I'm really afraid of all of the spending that's occurring. And what they're doing is they're spending as if the tax relief that passed in 2001 and 2003 is going to expire. If they start spending the money now, there's nothing that can happen in 2011 but taxes go up. Now is the time to be looking at the budgets, right size, downsize, weed out the fraud, the waste, the abuse. And when people say, well, we have a pretty tight budget, no, we don't. 48 states balance their budget. 2 states do not. The federal government does not. And I can guarantee when you don't have a balanced budget requirement, there's fluff, there's padding, there's fraud that exists, and it's not just in the ones you normally think of. It's in every budget. I happen to be one of those Republicans that sometimes gets in trouble with my own party because when they say, well, we need to take a close look at the budget and we're going to look at every agency except hands-off defense and homeland security, and my attitude is, why? Defense contractors are every bit as able to pad their budgets as anyone else. That's how you get the $500 toilet seats and the $200 hammers. So it's incumbent upon us to get in and look at every single agency, including defense and homeland security. The other problem is nobody's really focusing on the Federal Reserve. They're out there creating debt like crazy that we're going to have to pay off as well. And my caution or my warning is as we develop this debt and we try and go out into the marketplace, whether it's nationally or internationally, find someone to buy our debt, if there are less people buying it, then the price goes up, and when the price goes up, interest rates go up, and when interest rates go up, you start getting inflation. And so we need a freeze on non-defense spending. We need to take a close look at defense spending. We need zero-based budgeting where we take a look at the books all the way from beginning to end, line by line, and this is not the time to have tax increases. This is the time to, in fact, cut taxes for the purposes of stimulating the economy, and ultimately we will be better off. You know, what really angers you is that the media doesn't pick up on certain aspects of what's going on in Washington. Right before the stimulus bill vote in Congress, we, as Republicans, introduced a resolution that says the stimulus plan must be on the Internet for a period no less than 48 hours so the public could take a look at it. Nancy Pelosi had her Democrats all vote for that, and it passed the House unanimously. That was on a Tuesday. By Friday, she had ignored it, so she told her Democrats to vote for the resolution so that when they were on record voting, they'd be voting in favor of 48-hour notice. But when it came time to actually doing the 48-hour notice, it didn't happen. Where's the press? Where's the outrage? The Tea Parties are very important because what it does is draws attention to what's going on in Washington, and that's what we need. Real sorry I can't be there. I'd already planned these listening sessions out in eastern Montana before we found out the Tea Parties were going to be held, and we had already advertised that I was going to be. We made phone calls, and we've had pretty good turnouts out here, but short of that, my staff will be in attendance in as many of these events as they possibly can be. They'll report directly to me. They're supposed to be giving out comment cards. I want to make myself entirely available, so toll-free number, webpage, email address. I'm on Facebook. I'm even Twittering. So I'm trying to make myself as accessible as possible. My staff will be there. We support it, and go get them.